Essentially, Bhagavad Gita is about dharma. And what is dharma? We have seen this before. Dharanat dharma ityahuhu dharmo dharayate prajaha yasyat dharana sanyuktah sa dharmaha iti katyate. Dharma is that which comes from dharana, meaning sustenance, and dharma sustains the population. So anything that bears or sustains has the property of sustenance is called dharma. That's a broad understanding of dharma, and we saw what we mean by dharma in the 16th chapter. The essence of dharma is seva bhav, and this is what the Gita is trying to say. Dharma is fine, but we should also know this. We should know, and this is very important, because what is it that fuels dharma? Dharma is fueled by seva bhav. Seva bhav is, we'll talk a little bit about seva bhav, but before I go there, I want to point out that it's because of seva bhav that dharma leads to sukha. So, this question of how does dharma lead to sukha? Why is it that dharma gives happiness? We talked about dharma is that which sustains us and gives us what our purpose of life is, which is happiness. And so the question of why is it, or how is it, what is it that enables dharma to give sukha? And the answer is that the essence of dharma is seva bhav. And dharma is meant to be done with seva bhav. Dharma is not just an external physical activity done mechanically. Dharma is fueled by a mentality. Like in the last class too, somebody asked this question about, what is the difference between doing these activities, with greed and not with greed. It's a mentality. The mentality distinguishes a person doing an activity from being dharmic or adharmic, and that is the mentality of seva bhav. And the opposite of this is adharma, and adharma is characterized by swartha bhav. The opposite of seva bhav is swartha bhav. And because of swartha bhav, adharma gives dukkha. You see, because of seva bhav, dharma leads to sukha. And because of swartha bhav, adharma leads to dukkha. Swartha bhav is the essence of adharma, is the engine of adharma. Okay, so what is meant by seva bhav? Seva bhav, you see, the term seva bhav has two components in it, seva and bhav. What is meant by seva? Seva means acting through one's mind, speech, and body to create welfare and happiness for others, and being selfless and concerned as much about others' good and welfare as about one's own. And bhav, as we know, means a state of existence, or a mentality, or a consciousness, mentality, state of existence. All these words are, valid translations of the word bhav. So, seva bhav is the mentality which constantly seeks others' benefit without reciprocation, or thinks of the larger picture. Of course, by default, all of us primarily think of our benefit. But a person with seva bhav thinks of their benefit in terms of the benefit of the entire world. He does not want benefit for himself at the cost of the benefit of others. He thinks, when he thinks of his benefit, he thinks, how can I attain that benefit by doing good to the world as a whole? Or rather, at least the world in which I live, my world, the world in which, the people with whom I work, the people with whom I live, the people surrounding me, the people whom I influence in my work. Through good for them, how can I do good for myself? That is seva bhav. So seva bhav involves two things. One is nishkapatta. Nishkapatta means being genuine, being non-duplicitous, being non-pretensive, non-hypocritical. Right? So this is nishkapatta. And the second is paropakarata. We talked about being selfless. So nishkapatta and paropakarata are the two ingredients of seva bhav. And seva bhav is the ingredient of dharma, or the engine of dharma. So one with seva bhav considers others' welfare as important as one's own, rejects the thought of one's good at the cost of others' good. And such a person feels naturally happy. It's not theoretical. It's not about saying it with the mouth. It's about feeling it inside. Feels good when others are happy, and feels concerned when others are unhappy. And this person with seva bhav knows this principle very well, because everything is running by this principle in this existence, right? What one gives to this world, the world returns to them. And thereby, one with seva bhav naturally becomes happy, because he gives good to the world, good comes back to that person. Okay, so this is all about seva bhav.